Good morning, folks. The calm reported yesterday morning lasted until this morning when a destabilizing filament set off an entire region on our star. There was a minor flare event involved that nearly hit M range, and it resulted in a CME and plasma whipping around the corona. The plasma filament found north of the bright sunspots, out ahead of the eruption to the side. It began destabilizing first and appears to have shot northeast back away from our planet. The CME that was released is also likely to miss Earth completely. Coming to the sunspots, the big dog up north is the only spot worth watching at the moment. Actually have a fair bit of mixing potential in the center where smaller spots from the lead and trailing umbras come together, but that area is actually in a bit of decay, rather favoring the front and back of the group where we think some mixing would go a lot further than it would in the middle. Solar wind speed jumped up this morning, but only into the 400 kilometers per second range. That's barely even above average. Earth's magnetic shield handles it without issue. The southern coronal hole lost even more power last night, and as you'd expect, the quakes were very low once again. This has been a great week for watching the ebb and flow of coronal hole power. Top story today is a link to the new National Space Weather Strategy. They are asking for public comment on the official U.S. plan to study, prepare for, and report on space weather. Their call for comments ends at the end of this month, and they are not just asking for solar scientists at universities or those working for NASA. They expressly recognize how vital the non-officials are in the process, from private industry to individual observers. I submitted my comment yesterday. Link for you is below. Also, folks, if you didn't catch our second and third uploads last night, they are linked below this video when you scroll down. The first is about how the website is changing starting June 1st, what to expect, and why it's happening. The second one was an introduction for the fans of Earth Changes Media, with whom we are partnering. It's an introduction to us and what the observers do, and it is quite clear that you guys like that one way more than the first one. Either way, both are important, especially if you are a website member or want to be one. Twin systems still here in the West Pacific. Eastern Cell is a bit lost out there, while the Philippines are bracing for potential landfall before this one shoots up towards Japan. Tremendous power here, and beautiful penumbral Earth spot lines around the eye wall and cloud swirl, just like a sunspot. Anna churning off the eastern United States. It is expected to come onshore, probably create some flash flooding events before it too exits and shoots north across the Atlantic. Got a powerful storm system south of Alaska driving its convergence line and the moisture it's carrying at the coastline, while the same low in convergence will probably produce deadly weather again in the central states. Tornadoes and huge hail expected tonight. Be alert. In Europe, we see a high-pressure node pushing the lows north and bending their convergences horizontally rather than letting them go down to the equator. That is causing the cloud line to shift north slightly. Ireland, UK, and East, you guys get the worst. Down under, the only thing worth noting is that twisting low south of Tasmania. Convergence reaches back up and around to deliver the top alerts for this region in your overnight and morning hours. After you've caught up on last night's 2 videos here on YouTube, we'll be getting ready to post today's Fly on the Wall podcast episode. In today's episode, we'll discuss Earth's magnetic field weakening and also some detailed nuances of the current climate situation, where when an advisor to the Australian Prime Minister calls out the UN over climate change, you can both applaud and condemn portions of his position simultaneously. As a reminder, if you're not yet a member, it is $20 a year or $3 a month, but that goes up on June 1st. Locking in before that means you keep the lower price for as long as you keep your account. Eyes open. No fear, it's 6:15 a.m. Eastern Time, and that's the news. Be safe, everyone.